Well, here's an interesting turn of events to start with today. Congresswoman Lauren Boebert's public sex act caught on video might end up costing Republicans control of the House of Representatives in 2024. And it really brings me great pleasure to tell you that. Now, this depends on so many different things, but let me give you the gist of the situation. The other day, last week, Lauren Boebert, as you I'm sure have heard by now, was kicked out of a theater performance of Beetlejuice. Initially, there were reports that she was vaping and causing a disturbance, filming the performance, which you're not allowed to do. It later turned out that she was actually engaging in sex acts with her date, fondling his genitals in public. It's on video. It's all pretty wacky stuff. Even though Republican voters are known to be extraordinary hypocrites, where they will impose their morality on others and claim they are pro-family, Christians, all of these different things, there is still a real question as to whether they will still vote for Lauren Boebert anyway, despite her not embodying that image which they espouse. But let's imagine for a second that at least a few hundred voters in Lauren Boebert's district will choose not to vote for her or vote for her opponent, Adam Frisch, in November of 2024 because of this incident. I think that's reasonable. Remember, she won re-election by fewer than 600 votes. And there's a good Business Insider article that reminds us of the numbers and of all of this. If the margin was 550 something like that votes, 570, call it 600. If 350 voters switch their votes from Boebert to Frisch next November because of this unsavory incident, as they might describe it, this incident alone could make it so that Lauren Boebert doesn't get reelected. Okay, but that's one race. What about costing Republicans the entire House? This is where it gets super interesting. Axios has a new piece looking at the new forecasts for the Senate and for the House of Representatives in 2024. And it turns out that while Republicans may regain control of the Senate in 2024, in the 2024 elections, which would become effective in January of 2025, of course, in the House of Representatives, things seem to be tilting the other way. The other way being Republicans control the House today, but the polling seems to be favoring Democrats in the November 2024 election. Look at the thin margins by which this would be the case. To win back control of the House, Democrats only need to flip a net 5 seats. A new House race analysis from Inside Elections rates 11 seats as toss-ups, 7 held by Republicans and 4 by Democrats. So here's the bottom line. Very often in these midterm elections or general elections, when it comes to the House, it's not likely to come down to 1 or 2 seats. It's often, listen, one party is plus 30 and there's 10 toss-ups. Even if the party in power loses all 10 of the toss-ups, there's still plus 20. So the scenario where 1 seat determines control is very unlikely. With under a dozen of these toss-ups, and the toss-ups roughly split between Democrats and Republicans, and only a 5-seat margin for Republicans in the House right now, control of the House quite literally could come down to Lauren Boebert's seat. It's not going particularly well for her in terms of fundraising. Now she engaged in a public on-camera sex act. It's chaos. It's hard to believe this is going to help her. And so indeed, Lauren Boebert genital fondling in public might be what costs Republicans the House of Representatives in 2024. And if indeed that is the case, it would be absolutely hilarious and delightful in every single way, because it would be, is it a you live by the sword, you die by the sword? You live by, hey, these are our moral values and Christians and anti-abortion, except it's a 36-year-old grandmother engaged in public fondling, and then it costs them control. That would truly be a delight. And it couldn't happen to a nicer person, really. In all seriousness, we all must vote, including our friends in Lauren Boebert's district. Check out Adam for Colorado. That's Adam Frisch. He almost defeated her in 2022. Let's make it a reality in 2024. One more note about the Boebert incident. In the media, corporate media, etc. The incident is being referred to often as the vaping incident. The vaping was one of the least notable things about that incident. So let's not call it the vaping incident. Let's call it the public genital fondling by 36-year-old pro-life Christian grandmother Lauren Boebert. Okay, that's what we should be referring to. It's sort of like we refer to Trump as the civilly liable rapist, twice impeached, 4 times indicted, failed former president, right? That's really what he is. This is the way we need to refer to Lauren Boebert. This is not the vaping incident. This is the public genital fondling incident.